Let's go, fire starters.
Build the fire.
Shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man. What's good with y'all? Are we loud and clear? What's good with y'all, fire starters, man? I apologize about that, man. It's the audio loud and clear. We ain't got no glitches. We ain't got no static type noises or anything going on in the background, man. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. What's good, Angela? I see you up in here. Kyra, 144. What's up with you? Focus on the truth. What's good with y'all, man? Shout out to the whole nation, everybody that's coming up in here, man. As y'all know, GFTV has been on the heels of some that is allegedly involved in this whole Pimp C knockdown. And we had been revealing a lot of things. And just like I promised, we was going to continue to reveal some things that was always in a lot of people's face, but it just went over people's heads and under people's feet, man. And we here to bring everything to the light, just like we always do, man, like we've been doing. Because like I said, this year, this year marks the 20th anniversary of Pimp C getting released from prison. That's right. This marks the 20-year anniversary, man. And I feel as though, it's not enough people putting pressure on the situation, especially all these people that so called represent his name, so called represent the Pimp C legacy, everybody that was on that man's shit before he came home, everybody that was on his dick when he came home. But when he came home with a different mindset, when he came home speaking the truth, individuals, okay, not like what he was expressing. They didn't like the things that he stood for anymore. They didn't like how he was going about things, how he was speaking on who gangster, who ain't gangster, who riding around with this, who ain't riding around with that, how certain individuals were dressing and what certain individuals were doing. All right. Behind those doors to get to the top and in the position that they're in. But with that being said, man, all right, we gonna continue to expose a lot of things because, like, the situation that I brought to the light with the video and how international players was actually supposed to be a solo project for Pimp C. Outkast was never involved with the original project. 3 6 Mafia, DJ Paul produced it, and that's how that was supposed to ran, and it was supposed to came out on that Pimpilation album. But behind the scenes, Bun B was doing a whole lot of snaking. Behind the scenes, Jay Prince was doing a whole lot of snaking. All right, and didn't allow the sample to be clear. Didn't allow the sample to be clear for Pimp C, for the 3 6 Mafia production on international players because they wanted to hold it back for the UGK album because we know Bun B was involved in the album and they added Outkast to the situation. And I tried to explain to everybody how Pimp C did not like that. Not only did he not like that, man, he spoke his mind on how he felt about what was going on out there and how people were dressing, looking weird, acting weird, all at these parties with these weird individuals. But we ain't gonna go back over something that we already explained and exposed because, like I said, a lot of people find this situation and what I'm bringing to light hard to fathom. They can't process this. They can't process it. And trust me, when I started getting this information and I started putting it together, as y'all see, I took a break off yesterday because it was so much that I was gathering. All right. And I want to make sure I put this together in the right format strategically for y'all, man. All right. Because we got a whole lot of different stories that's been coming out about Pimp C. And not only that, man, like I said, stories continue to change and people continue to add stories because we know a dead man can't talk, right? So they can add all kinds of shit. They can say all kinds of shit what the man said or what the man did or what they was doing around the man or what they witnessed. But the man ain't here to speak on that, add credibility to it, or anything. But it should be the ones that's very close to him. You would think that would make sure his name live on, would make sure the things that Pimp C said, all right, that he ain't die for nothing. He ain't die for no reason. And like I said, we got the receipts now that Pimp C was at DJ Paul house. Not only was he at his house, all right, it's been said that he was there all week. Not only was he there all week, my resources are telling me that's where it actually happened at. That's where Pimp C body was at. That's where everything went down at. Now, check this out, man. Shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tonight we gonna prove the lies of Shania, whatever her fucking name is, okay? Shanira, all right, and that's Pimp C wife. Because check this out, y'all. All right. They said that the man that allegedly, because we heard about the poison rumor, right? And how he was poisoned. Okay, somebody put something in his drink, okay, which I was telling everybody that the man was drug free. But anyway, this man that's supposed to poison Pimp, all right, later on down the line, his wife wound up marrying this individual. Okay, but before we get into all that, man, shout out YouTube, everything that they got going on. All right, we gotta give our due diligence, man, for allowing content creators like me, myself, and so many others speak our opinion and speak our truth. All right, everything y'all hear in this live is for research, educational, and entertainment purposes only. All right, fair use is in effect. Everything y'all hear in this live is for educational, research, and entertainment purposes only. But y'all know what's flammable. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. We fire starters. We walk in the fire, and we always come equipped with our fire suits. So with that being said, man, all right, let's get the likes to match the views and the views to match the likes. Because let me put y'all on a strategic situation before I even start rolling content, before I even start knocking shit down. All right, y'all set up the bowling pins. All right, and watch me knock this shit down the middle. Now, I've been explaining to y'all that DJ Paul is directly connected to the Pimp C knockdown. Not only is he directly connected to the Pimp C knockdown, y'all pay attention now. When 3-6 Mafia won this Oscar, mind you, the first rap group ever to win an Oscar, right, y'all? All right? The first rap group ever to win an Oscar. Not only was it the first rap group ever to win an Oscar, all right? The name of the movie was called and named entitled Hustle and Flow, right? Absolutely. Wasn't the name of the movie that they did production for on a track, which ultimately won them an Oscar, which was very strange and very weird anyway. What was the name of the track, y'all? The name of the track was called what? You know it's hard out here for a pimp. Hit the like button. Strategic drop. And not only was the song titled, you know it's hard out here for a pimp. Like I said, man, we don't believe in coincidences. All right? We just don't. What's the chance? What's the chance of Pimp C being released from prison, hooking up with DJ Paul? It's been documented, and we got the receipts that what Pimp C flies straight to DJ Paul house, and that's actually who he was hanging with the most while he was out. Okay, but I find it very odd and very strange. Like I said, they win the Oscar for a movie, for a track that's in a movie that's based on a pimp, right? Hustle and Flow is based on the pimp, right? Yo, we gonna make real life matters make real life sense. Let's get it together, people. All right, respectfully, let's hit the like button. Is Hustle and Flow is Hustle and Flow the movie depicting a pimp? It's about a pimp, right? Terrence Howard is a pimp in Hustle and Flow, right? And the name of the track in that movie, you know it's hard out here for a pimp. And what's the chances that when Pimp C actually did come home, it actually was hard out here for a pimp? It really was hard out here for Pimp C. Not only was it hard out here for Pimp C, he was the only one by himself speaking facts. Nobody was ad-libbing or none of that in the background, following up on everything that he was saying. They left him in that water all by himself. You know why they left him in that water by himself? Because they on land with the strangers. They on land with the strangers. You see, Pimp C was in jail for 4 years. They don't know Pimp C no more. Pimp C don't know these niggas. Can I say it again? I said Pimp C has been in jail for 4 years, and with the time Pimp C has been in jail and incarcerated for 4 years, hip hop and rap music has took a what? Dramatic shift. And not only did it take a dramatic and huge, tremendous shift, it shifted to the South. When Pimp C came home, the South had the rap game and hip hop on lock. Not only did they have the rap game and hip hop on lock, it was a lot of individuals, okay, that they were sitting at tables with. And like I said, Pimp C didn't know these people no more, and these people ain't no Pimp C. All right. These people ain't no Pimp C, and Pimp C ain't know these people. And like I said, y'all, these motherfuckers ain't slick. They ain't get that Oscar for nothing. Like I said, Pimp C wound up getting knocked down right after they won this Oscar. Y'all had to pay attention. When they came on stage, okay, look who wearing, okay? Sacrifice ready, ain't he, y'all? That's right. DJ Paul, sacrifice ready. Got on the all red and everything. Know why? Because it had to be blood for that. Blood had to be drawn for that. Make no mistake about it. And then he got the P on the hat, sending a message like, yeah, pimp, this one's for you. We coming for you. Next time you come out to my house, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Okay? Next time you come out to my house, I'm going to get you. Okay? When was this? See this, right? Same year, Pimp C comes home. 2006, the same year. Remind you that that song, International Players, was actually recorded. You know it's hard out here for a pimp. And the happiest person on this stage when they won this award was DJ Paul. He was the happiest one. Shout out everybody up in here. And like I said, for the ones who don't know, what them Oscars really be about, okay? Everybody gotta do just a little research. Everybody will get it. So we'll get virtual over here, and y'all can look up what this stuff about and what that Oscar really represents and what it's all about. Okay? Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation. I appreciate y'all up here. So all right, can we get the views, the master lights and the lights, the master views? We just warming up. Because as many times as excuse me, as many times as this story was told, we never found out that Pimp C wife was out there with Pimp C, right? All that came years later. Like I said, they keep adding and adding and adding. And when you keep adding shit, Lies on top of 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 lies. You have to keep lying to keep up with the lie. Okay? But when you tell the truth, it's solid, it's the same story, nothing never changes. Okay? So shout out Angela. Thank you for the endorsement, super sticker, super chat, sponsorship of this live. Appreciate you and everything you do for this channel. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation. So we already got the receipts of DJ Paul saying Pimp C was out there, right? At his house, right? As a matter of fact, we gonna do it like this. Okay? Shout out the whole nation. Now, like I said, I done heard that he was out there all week from a lot of different people and a lot of different resources. But anyway, it says no, he was not at his house all week. All right. He clarified that Pimp C was at his house for the entire day before his death. And they spent the night there before he checked into a hotel. DJ Paul described the day as a productive one where they worked on music and recorded a song called Rolling on Chrome. Riding on Chrome. All right. A day of work. They worked on some music, a close interaction. Pimp C even took the garbage out for DJ Paul's son. Y'all hear this shit, right? All goofy shit, right? No extended stay. The statement that Pimp C was at DJ Paul's house all week was incorrect. It was only the day before his death. That's bullshit because they were saying way before it was one day that it was all week. All right. But anyway, the day of Pimp C's stay was a positive one as they had just recorded a song together and had planned an interview for the following week. Okay, so this is what DJ Paul actually said out of his mouth. Not only that, okay, the driver actually drove Pimp C to the hotel. Okay, which was the last time anybody ever seen Pimp C was with DJ Paul. Now check this out, yo. All right, shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation. We got his wife saying something totally different, totally opposite. I need everybody to hit the like button respectfully so we can get the views to match the likes and the likes to match the views so we can get this information out there because it's very informative so it can reach the people that it need to reach because they've been fucking lying to us. They've been lying on Pimp C name, all right, for the last 18 years, excuse me, all right? It's been 20 years since he's been released, all right? And it's been 18 years since his death. And we ain't been getting nothing but a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of bullshit and everybody tucking their tail, all right? It's a lot of motherfuckers that's scared, all right, of Jay Prince. It's a lot of motherfuckers that shook of Jay Prince, including Pimpin' Ken, including 17 the Hog. Yeah, we gonna expose all that shit. But he got nerve to come in my fucking chat. Talk about I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But since I don't know what the fuck I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, 17 Hog. Respectfully. Alright? I'm gonna prove to everybody that you a fucking hoe and you scared to speak for your man the way that you should be speaking for him. You and Pimp and Kent. Straight up hoes. He up there talking about something. I ain't got no problem with Jay Prince. Hey, Jay Prince, what's up? When they asked him the question, what happened with the situation with, I'm gonna let y'all see it. But it baffling to me, man. Seriously. And like I said, man, it's a lot of people that's working together to continue to keep this narrator going and spinning. But with that being said, yeah, he got ghosts because he lied, bro, and he been lying about a lot of shit. When I asked that nigga, I said, why did Pimp C film his scene separate from everybody else? He gonna sit up there and lie and talking about some, oh yeah, Pimp C was with Don Juan and them, he was late and blah 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 blah. I'm like, bro, you're a motherfucking lie. And I had to pull the receipt out for him. And he got up out of there. But he know what's going on with Pimp too. That's supposed to be your protege. But this supposed to be his fucking wife. And this is what we getting, y'all. Check it out. Hit y'all like button. Drop y'all fire and TVs in the chat. Let's go. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the sound up. Let me get the sound up, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's go.
Something that was exhausting. That was
I would imagine so. I mean, y'all going
for
hard.
years. Yeah. This my thing is that it annoys the fuck out of me that they say Chad died of drink because that's not how he died, and it's not true. That's the other part. Because I ask people, can you kill yourself twice? No, I'm just asking.
You hear that? All right. I want y'all to pay attention closely and comprehend what the fuck she is actually saying out of her mouth, and pay attention to her body language. Do it look like she give a fuck about Pimp C? Do it look like she give a fuck about Pimp C or his legacy? She damn sure ain't give a fuck about his assets because she spent every goddamn dime he had and sold off all his shit. Every motherfucking thing. And we got the receipts. But I'm going to let it rock out. I want everybody to pay attention. How this bitch said, can you kill yourself twice? You know why she said, can you kill yourself twice? Because, bitch, you seen him when he was dead. That's why. She seen him when he was dead. She seen the body. She seen Pimp dead. Okay? And that's why she got the fuck up out of there, allegedly, and flew back to Texas. But let's continue.
Yeah. This my thing is that it annoys the fuck out of me that they say Chad died of drink because that's not how he died, and it's not true. That's the other part. Because I ask people, can you kill yourself twice? No, I'm just asking, can you kill? Not to my knowledge. So you can't die from sleep apnea and die from, like, come on. Yeah. Then I was just there. So it's not like, yeah.
Oh wait, you was in California?
Yeah, like I left.
See that?
Long story short, shit again. I left to move the car. We were rushing. as usual. We're on Trill time. Okay, so
Divine time and Trill time. That's the time
Mike
she be on
Mo,
for
you know
real.
Mike Mo, Stacy Mo. Stacy works at Bush. So we already been in California a day. She hits me and like, Shannar, you better move the car or I have somebody the whole front end alignment, a bunch of shit in the Bentley. That's kind of why the other color one came involved because of that incident. And it took like 6 months. So I was like, oh shit.
Right. And the incident that she talking about, a lot of people have no idea. Okay, a couple of months before this situation happened out in LA, all right, somebody rigged up Pimp C's, okay, Bentley, all right, and loosened all the bolts on his tire. And while him and his wife and family were in the car, okay, the whole tire flew off the fucking car on the interstate. So I honestly believe that they were trying to cause an accident right then and there. All right, but let's continue though.
I know I shouldn't have parked there. Um, yeah, so I was like, well, tomorrow we're going back. He was performing at House of Blues. And we were tired. I just left New York. I came into Houston just to come with him to California because we were also meeting the people with the publishing, and he had the House of
I heard
Blues
about
thing.
that publishing deal.
Yeah, Buck. So, um, I always meet the people for the business part. So by the time we got there, he was tired too. Oh, the eventful night. I forgot. Damn, our days seem like multiple days. I just thought about that. I did. Me and Mike came back in from New York, right? And Jeezy had a concert out here. That's when we all
She lying her ass off. But let's continue, y'all. She's a lying motherfucker, yo. I can't stand this shit.
came. I was like, are we really going to this man concert? I love it. I'm going to work with drama soon. I'm already putting that out. I'm already putting that out. But I can totally remember him looking like, and I was like, what? And he took off, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, dog, we are not about to intimidate this man, or like,
Right.
oh God, we're already here. We're intimidating me. This is not right. To a certain extent, I'm like, we got shit to do. We about to have a whole new life going, it's about to be something else. Like, okay, we showed up, we showed out. Let's get the fuck on out of here. Yeah. Then there was the strip, that whole thing. So we were tired by the time we got there.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
Okay, so she's adding shit to this bullshit alibi, but she's about to get caught in a big ass lie that's going to set this whole shit on fire. Like I promised y'all. Let's go.
And he was supposed to go meet DJ Paul, right? And I was supposed to wake him up, but I didn't because it's like, you're tired. I didn't know Paul was riding around because me and Paul not too long talked about that too. And I was supposed to wake him up, but I didn't. DJ Paul. And he was supposed to go meet DJ Paul, right? And I was supposed to wake him up, but I didn't because it's like, you're tired. I didn't know Paul was riding around because me and Paul not too long talked about that too. He was riding around LA because they were shooting their reality show. So he didn't want anybody, because I was like, well, you could just go to this fucking house or but he didn't want anybody to know where their house was, whether.
Okay, y'all hear this, right? So she telling Pimp C, won't you just go to his house? She said when they got to LA, they were tired from a Young Jeezy concert. Y'all pay attention, right? Right? Ain't nobody questioned this bald head bitch, right? That's right, I said it. Fuck this bitch. I'm quite sure Pimp rolling over in his motherfucking grave saying the same thing. Fuck this bitch. I can't stand a lying ass, widow ass bitch that lie on her fucking husband. And he fucking dead. Then you went and fucked the ops. Yeah, Smitty, I know. She's supposed to allegedly went and fuck this dude. right? That showed up to Pimp C funeral with a whole bunch of fucking security and shit. Weird ass nigga. But yeah, so we hear her saying that he never made it to DJ Paul house, y'all. All right? We hear her actually saying he was supposed to met with DJ Paul, but he was tired and I ain't wake him up. You hear this? And she said her and DJ Paul just talked about that not too long ago. How is that when we got DJ Paul saying it out his mouth? And it ain't no secret. Even Google know Pimp C was at DJ Paul house. Okay? Even Google know that. So this leaves individuals, like I said, the closest people to him. All right, and I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, but I gotta keep it 100. If we can't trust his wife word, we can't trust Bun B word, we can't trust 17 the hog word. And these are people that are directly connected to Pimp C. Then who the fuck can we trust? Nobody. Nobody word. Everybody is fucking lying, covering this shit up. Because I told everybody, all right, Pimp C never made it to no goddamn House of Blues. You see, they knew how to play that shit. So he was performing at the House of Blues with Too Short and shit like that. Let me tell y'all something. They knew exactly how to run that play because Pimp C had performed with Too Short at the House of Blues recently, just not too long ago before that. Okay? So when you go and search for Too Short and Pimp C at the House of Blues the last night, Pimp C was alive in the last concert that they did and shit. Don't shit come up. Only thing that come up is the concert that they previously did together, not the actual concert that they said he was at that night. Everywhere Pimp C went when he came out of jail, y'all, it was always paparazzi, some type of media around or something, interviewing him, getting autographs, whatever. But this particular time, he go out to LA. We ain't got no pictures of him out there. We ain't got no video. Ain't no paparazzis around. They say he was in the hotel room. Like I said, we ain't got not one receipt of Pimp C in a damn hotel room. Not one. And 17, the whole claims that while they were on the phone getting the news that Pimp was dead, because Bun B drove him to the airport, right? But why the fuck he ain't get on the plane with y'all too? Don't just drive me to the airport, bitch. You better be driving and getting on this motherfucking plane. But he said that they were moving the body then. Okay? So it's a lot of different stories that have been coming out. And let's not forget, like I said, man, I don't give a fuck who don't like what I'm saying and the way I'm saying it about this bitch up here. Because she's a fucking bitch. And I mean it. And I mean it. And I'm going to prove it. All right? She's a black widow. That's exactly what the fuck you call a motherfucker like her. She will poison your ass with a stare in your eyes. She'll poison the shit out of you, man. All right? Don't y'all know, like I said, She stole. Well, I'm not going to say she stole. We might as well say she did. All right. When the shit was supposed to be all in a trust fund, right? For their daughter, right? Don't they got a daughter together? If I'm not mistaken. See, did I save that? Yeah. Yes, they do. I know I ain't fucked up. Research on the thou. So, this trust fund and all these assets and shit, okay, she done spent all the money up. We heard how she sold his mansion and all his cars and shit. But not only that, check this out, Smitty. Check this out, Angela. Check this out, Cyrus, India, and all the rest of the five starters in here. Kyra, check this out. Don't you know, not only did she sell the houses, the cars, the TVs, the phones, the trust funds, check this out. She even sold his lyrics. She sold his lyrics. Don't y'all know a lot of that shit that Megan, the Stallion, okay? A lot of those lyrics that Megan, the Stallion, was spitting was Pimp C's. You know that, right? Okay, and this is where this Rock Nation alignment also comes in at. Because you know, Megan Thee Stallion is with Rock Nation, right? And we know the Rock Nation Jay-Z tension that was allegedly between him and Pimp C, right? Now, like I said, I'm hearing that this woman, his wife, Sharira, okay, sold Pimp C lyrics to Rock Nation, and Rock Nation, Jay-Z, that is, used them for Megan the Stallion as I strategically pull up one of the most fierest receipts that y'all will ever see. Check this out. Hit the like button. Strategic drop. What I tell y'all, what I was going to be breaking down about Pimp C is going to be things that y'all never knew and things that was never brought to the light. This gonna be all the way different. I'm not going to be regurgitating the same shit that we already heard, man. I never do. See this, right? Check it out. Pimp C's widow holding on to unreleased verses for Megan the Stallion. Really? Really? Oh, I wonder who got first dibs on them verses and who put that money up for Megan in that down payment, y'all. Strategic drop. Who y'all think did it? Who y'all think got accesses to them verses? Excuse me, that got access to them verses. Crazy work. crazy work, right? It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on, man. A lot that ain't right. A lot that ain't adding up. Because this so-called individual that they call Buddy. All right, so there's something here I have. Now, this situation with TJ Paul, man, and how I hold up. I ain't gonna run that yet. Hold on. I gotta run this here. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man, and everybody that's out there. I want to run this clip for y'all. Appreciate the whole Fire Starter family, man. Hold on a second, y'all. Appreciate y'all patience, man. All right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, who's Buddy?
When y'all ask me who was Buddy, so tell me about Buddy. Can you?
Buddy, the nigga who killed my cousin.
You got that from a reliable source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buddy, the one who killed his cousin, right? He sound very, very confident about this, don't he? But let's continue. This is his cousin, okay? Egar, however you pronounce the shit, all right? This is him coming out years later, just like many other people, okay, way after Pimp C death, all right? Motherfuckers ain't said a fucking thing, when it happened or any of that. All right. 15, 16 years later, 18 years later, here come more individuals. But let's continue.
What did you hear?
So the story I heard, it was multiple people inside the hotel room. Female, I think maybe be a male and another male probably. So
Super tight exclusive.
So C went to the restroom and Buddy said, look, y'all don't say nothing. I'm gonna play a joke on Pimp. And he poured something into his drink. And when he came back from the restroom, he started drinking it and almost immediately started throwing up blood. And what made me believe that, I packed C bags after he passed.
From that same hotel room.
Same hotel. I pulled back the cover of the bed and there was blood in the bed. So
okay, so like I said, shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man. I appreciate y'all. We have him saying that this guy named Buddy, who Pimp C wife wound up marrying, and he wound up losing his life, okay, years on down. But anyway, said that Pimp C went to the bathroom and this dude decided to play a trick. How you gonna play a trick on somebody pouring poison in some shit? For one, that's not a trick, bro. That's not a trick. And that's not a fucking prank. Okay? That's attempted murder. That's what it is. That's no different than a motherfucker loading a gun up, all right, and pulling the fucking trigger. That's not no prank, is it? So a motherfucker pouring some poison into your drink, that's not no fucking prank. That's attempted murder. But anyway, like I said, this is supposed to be his cousin. And like I said, I find it very odd and strange that he come out with this information, okay, years and years and years later. And I feel as though he is still, okay, trying to add credibility that Pimp C was back drinking on that lean and on that syrup. When we know Pimp C was not drinking no goddamn lean. He was not drinking no syrup. Why is everybody sitting here acting like all this wasn't in our face? When Pimp C came home, Pimp C had a clear mind and a clear head. Pause. He was not on no drugs. He was not on no lean. He was talking and moving totally different. Even to the fact he was moving and motherfuckers in rap block ain't like the fact that he was telling the youth the truth about, yeah, all these rappers tell you about guns, gang banging, selling dope and drugs and this and that, but they don't tell you the flip side to that shit. How your ass go to jail, all right? You get taken away from your family, mama, daddy, sister, uncle, auntie, son, niece, daughter, everybody getting buried, all right? Ain't nothing cool about that shit. But I feel as though he still is setting the narrative as if Pimp C was what, y'all? Drinking lean when we know that's cat. And not only that, Pimp C was not in that fucking hotel room. They keep saying blood. Blood. Now, let me ask y'all a fucking question. All my lean drinkers out there. Texas, where y'all at? I feel as though it ain't enough of y'all stomping, stepping, and standing on this shit. And I understand why, because y'all locally involved. All right. And y'all life could be in danger if y'all speak on it. Okay? I understand that. But shit, right is right and wrong is wrong. All right. And if you what? Stand for nothing, you'll fall for any motherfucking thing. And like I said, Pimp C was a lean drinker, used to be. So, like I said, bring all my lean drinkers in here for a minute. All right, let me put something on the table. All right, let me pour you up a cup. All right, let me put 4 ounces in this 2 liter. All right, let me get you some ice. All right, let me shake this bottle up. All right, make sure everything at the bottom go all the way to the top. All right, and I'm gonna pour you a nice old cup. All right, of this motherfucker mixed with this blueberry Fanta, ice cold, right? So a person that drinks lean, know they drink, right? They know they drink, right? From the door, a motherfucker gonna smell it. They can taste it. So how much did this man actually drink? All right, for him to have to throw up. He said as soon as he drunk it, he threw up blood immediately. Bullshit. That's bullshit. You have to drink a good amount, at least, before you start spitting up blood. And like I said, a person that drinks lean, bro, once they put that shit to their mouth and they get that nasty ass taste, they're not gonna drink no more of that shit. They gonna know from the gate something wrong with that shit. Where we make real life matters make real life sense. Where we make real life matters make real life sense. Now, like I said, let me repeat this. All my lean and syrup remix Sprite drinkers who like to pour up. As long as y'all been drinking and pouring up, if somebody put some shit in your cup, especially some poison, something that's going to make you throw up blood, we talking about fucking ethanol, cyanide, or some shit like that. You gonna taste that shit. And like I said, you're not going to drink and keep drinking an excessive amount to throw up no goddamn blood. All right? You have to remember, you sip drink, right? You sip on it. You don't guzzle it down. Pause. You sip drink. So once you sip that shit and you shake that shit up and you sip it and you be like, oh, hold on, yo, what the fuck wrong with this shit? This ain't that. Shout out the whole nation, man. Can we get the views to match the lights and the lights to match the views? Yes. You know why? Because they know what to ask and what not to ask. They know what to ask, what not to ask, and how to ask it because they know who involved. All right. Every time it's time for them to speak on that situation about Master P or the problems between Jay Prince and who? Pimp C. All right, everybody act like it was a fucking secret. Everybody act like it was a fucking secret. He wrote about this in jail in his book. I could pull up the book right now and put it on the screen when he said, yo, Bun B ain't been here to see me not one time. Nigga ain't came to see him not one time. Said ain't right him either. All this in his book. When at 17, the hog was really dropping real fast. But once that pressure in that spotlight got on 17, the hog, he curled up. He curled up. He curled up. And I got receipts to prove it when they asked him about, yo, what was the situation? Because I know Jay Prince, I know Pimp C talked to you about the situation with him and Rap A Lot and Jay Prince. You should hear him avoid that question. Nah, man. Yo, Jay Prince, man. I ain't got nothing but respect for you, man. Hey, man, I love you, man. Damn, you scared to answer a fucking question, man? You scared to even speak on it when it's already public. So why not speak? Okay? Jay Prince and Bun B try to take credit for that free Pimp C movement. All right, and didn't want to give him all his back end and his revenue from that shit. All right, as it says, grassroots effort. He believed his freedom was primarily a result of the grassroots Free Pimp C campaign launched by fans and fellow artists, not his record label. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Jay Prince and Bun B was doing some snake shit behind Pimp C back. Pimp Jay Prince went to the prison to get some verses and some songs from Pimp C so he could release an album because the Free Pimp C campaign was on fire. So they wanted to drop something right then and there. So I believe they dropped the Sweet Jones story or something like that. Okay. And they raped Pimp C out of that shit. If everything was all good with him and Rap A Lot, if all the money and they were supposed to be doing what they were doing, he would never had no friction with Jay Prince. Okay? And like I said, it's a lot of people that's lying because this dude, so-called Buddy, that poisoned Pimp C, all right? They claim that he had owned a part of UGK records or something. Pimp C had got $100,000 from this guy and he was in debt and all this weird talk. But let's continue.
So that's what
Hold on, man.
made me believe that.
Can y'all hear
So to
this
be true.
sound, man?
Now, we talked about this prior to us cutting on the cameras, and I never talked about it outside of saying, "Buddy," you know what I'm saying?
It sound good?
And this guy was from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna mention anybody that was around him that knew him in Jackson, Mississippi. We'll just concentrate on him.
Yeah.
And like you and I said that you had heard the same thing, that he was going around bragging.
Yeah.
That he had done this.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, in the streets of Jackson.
And I heard it from someone who at one point really didn't know I was even affiliated with Pimp, but we were associated through a former organization I was with.
Yes.
And we just got to talking. He said, "Hey man, what's up with Buddy?"
I got Lydia outside. We're gonna do some recording while I finish up.
It's crazy work, man.
And I was like, I've heard this and heard that. It's like, man, well, what you heard is true because I'm from Jackson.
Yes.
And that's how that went.
And he said that he had heard the rumors of him going through, or he had witnessed them.
He had heard it. Yeah.
And there was nothing found.
That's what that's my next, because my wife is a nurse now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she's gonna ask medical questions, and what she's asking is, what no traces or nothing found in the what do you call it, autopsy, or the what's the thing called when toxicology report.
So no, and why I think what messed it up, and I'm gonna just say it like this.
Yes.
People did so much maneuvering around the autopsy to protect what was they might have thought was going to show up. So that kind of changed the outcome of what really came out.
In other words, they weren't looking for that.
They wasn't looking for that.
What you think they were looking for? Drink?
They're looking for drink.
And they found small traces of that. Not enough. They did say it wasn't enough to kill. Now, y'all do know they said it wasn't enough to kill him.
Yeah.
And he had a prescription for that.
And they talked about
sleep apnea.
Yeah.
They're alive, bro.
Them both is what took him out, is what the coroner's report said.
But you know, mama died saying my baby was poisoned with cyanide. Her wish was to raise up enough money to have the body exhumed.
Yes.
To do her own independent.
Her wish was to raise up enough money to have the body exhumed. So why y'all ain't raised the money? Why y'all ain't raised the money? You mean to tell me, as I strategically break this down, this man don't get enough royalty checks to cover that? Which proves I told you his wife robbed everything he fucking had. And his wife finessed his mama. And everybody sat there and let his wife and everybody finesse Mama West out of all that money. All Pimp C shit. Anytime Mama West, you see, people don't want to hear the truth. But I'm going to say it because suppose that was your motherfucking mama. You wouldn't like that shit, would you? Wouldn't nobody like that shit if it was your motherfucking mama. You know, her son that made millions and millions of motherfucking dollars. And she can't even get the money up to have his body reabsorbed. When you had people that was paying Pimp C, y'all, when he came home, people was paying Pimp C $18,000 to $25,000 a fucking verse. When he came home, he had like 30 verses lined up. Y'all do the math. All right? That's over 600,000 goddamn dollars. That's just off of verses and shit. All right? And I got the receipts on that.
Exotic diamonds, man, you know, and before I came home, James told me that all these things was gonna be available to me when I touched down, you know. And I, you know, the day I touched down, you know, I had like 25, 26 guest appearances at between $17,500 and $20,000 a pop. You know what I mean? But 25, the day I touched down, you know, I had like 25, 26 guest appearances at between $17,500 and $20,000 a pop. You know what I mean?
What'd he say? What'd he say? Okay. All right then. All right then. So ain't nobody telling me that his royalty checks ain't adding up to something. Ain't nobody telling me that the royalty checks ain't adding up to something. The man was out for how long? 2 years. But everybody's supposed to be his friend. Everybody's supposed to be his partner. Everybody's supposed to be his brother. But you got his cousin up here live in the flesh saying, you know, that was always Mama West's wishes, was to get enough money up to have a body re-exhumed. Okay, how much does it cost in Texas, y'all, to have a body re-exhumed? You know, Chat GPT, fucking Google will tell you just about anything you need to know right now. All right, so let's just put it all on the goddamn floor and show how everybody is so fucking fake. If they couldn't get up this money that we about to put on the screen for how much a body costs to get re-exhumed. All right, because it's a damn shame when you got people like Rap A Lot that claim it wasn't no beef, right, Jay Prince? If it wasn't no beef, why Rap A Lot ain't put up the money? If it wasn't no beef with Bun B and Pimp C, why Bun B ain't put up the fucking money? Because it was some real friction going on, not only with him, but with a lot of people that was around him, that was working directly for Rap A Lot and Jay Prince. Look at this, y'all. This is crazy work. Look how much it costs. Wow. This is crazy, y'all. And they couldn't get this money up. This is sad. Strategic drop. I told you, yo, I will start embarrassing these motherfuckers. And I ain't even start yet. All right? I put all these motherfuckers on the chopping block. Look at this shit. This is how much money Mama West was wishing she could get up, which means she ain't even had $5,000 to $20,000, y'all. Strategic drop. All right? 12 to 1800 to redig. And I imagine with all the other fees and you know what I mean, the tests and shit that they gotta run. Yeah. All right, but they should have way more than enough, y'all. They can re-exhume his body, all right, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20 goddamn time. All right? Respectfully. I'm just keeping it real. We just heard the man say what, y'all? That's why I played it strategically. So y'all can hear out his mouth how much money he was getting for one damn verse. It's a whole video. Matter of fact, it's a couple videos out all over YouTube, all on Rumble about how his wife sold all the assets, all his verses, everything that was locked up in the vault, shit that his daughter wasn't supposed to get her hands on till she was like 18. All that shit gone. The trust fund and everything, y'all. The trust fund and everything is gone. Everything is gone. And like I said, she sold his lyrics out the vote to Rock Nation. To Rock Nation. I'm telling you, it's a whole bunch of snakes. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me play this. 2. Watch what else we about to expose. Check this shit out, y'all. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation.
Way to a Grammy nomination when tragedy struck in December.
That's when Chad Butler, known as Pimp C, died in a Los Angeles hotel room. The turnout at his funeral in Port Arthur showed just how much he was loved and admired in this area. Just this week, the LA County Coroner's Office ruled the rapper's death accidental and attributed it to a combination of a sleep disorder called apnea, and prescription-strength cough syrup. And our guest this morning is Bernard Freeman, known as Bun B. He is one of those who was closest to Pimp C.
Good morning, and thanks for being here. Now, you were one of Chad's best partners, grew up with him, but you're going to be doing a concert tonight.
Yes, I am.
Now, this concert is following the release of the information, which says that sleep apnea and syrup, and we know that syrup on the streets usually has codeine.
Absolutely.
When you heard that, what went through your mind?
Well, it was sad, but it's a definitely real thing. You know, living in Houston, Texas, being a person that affiliates with the common man on the street, we all know that in Houston, Texas, we have a problem now with the cough syrup epidemic. And while it wasn't solely the cause of his death, we have to be very real about the consequences to some of these things. Pimp C did have a prescription for it, but you have to be very careful when you get prescriptions for certain things, because sometimes you can tend to go a little too far with some of these things. They have very strong addictive qualities, pills and syrups and whatnot. So to anyone out there, you know, that thinking about sipping syrup or currently abusing syrup, it may want to take a very good look at yourself, a long look at yourself in that cup.
But in this case, we were told that the bottle did not have a prescription label on it.
Right. Well, I wasn't in Los Angeles, so I'm not sure exactly about the bottle itself. But in Houston, on the streets, there is an epidemic with the people sipping the cough syrup, and it's something that's going to have to be addressed.
As well,
Yes, there is some.
Yup, and yo, not only that, yo, like I was saying the other night, they said Pimp was unrecognizable. I don't even know why they even had an open joint. You see what I'm saying? They said Pimp was unrecognizable. All right, they said his head was not normal, right? Like I said, man, I'm hearing from reliable resources that Pimp C was beat to death, bro. Not only was he beat to death, his legs was broken, arms was broken, all that shit, even his neck. All right, and this is why you hear Edgar, all right, say that they went to great extents to cover up that autopsy and toxicology report. People think it's a game. And we hear his wife, Tanira, all right, whatever the fuck her name is, sit up there and lie, said Pimp C never made it to DJ Paul's house when we know he did. DJ Paul said it out his mouth. Not only did DJ Paul say it out his mouth, Google said it out their analytics, which proves, okay, this is where that situation went down at. But she fucked up. All right. She ain't trying to let nobody know that Pimp went over DJ Paul's house, because that's where the fuck it went down at. Well, bitch, you smoked too much weed or something Okay, because DJ Paul already told everybody that he was there. And she tell everybody that as soon as they got to LA, he went to sleep at the hotel room. DJ Paul called and she ain't wake him up. So what you do? All right, went over there and fucked the nigga too? Huh? Weird shit. Because if you fuck the nigga that's supposed to poison your husband, I know you'll fuck DJ Paul while Pimp C sleep. You don't fuck with nobody say. You fucking your husband ops and married the nigga. The nigga that's supposed to kill your husband. And you sat there and watched it, right? So, like I said, the shit she said ain't making no sense. But the shit DJ Paul said, all right, it's making sense. But the shit he trying to add is definitely not. Like how he took the garbage out for his son, and I had a car drive him to his hotel, and yeah, that was the last time I seen him. And he left a CD. He left a CD with his last songs on it. Yep, and I wind up having the CD. He left the CD at my house or in the car. So he wound up having the last songs that Pimp C ever made. He the last one ever seeing them alive. You see what I'm saying? Pimp C was over your house doing fucking music. And next thing you know, you send them off and they find them in a hotel with blood and candles and all this weird shit. Like, stop. Stop the shit, man. Stop the shit. Stop the shit, y'all. Okay, and I was trying to explain to everybody, I don't give a fuck where you go around to. You can't find no crime scene photos from that day. Pimp C lost his life. No crime scene photos from the hotel. Nothing, yo. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. They put that shit so tight, y'all. It's like Pimp C didn't even exist. Like he wasn't even out there in LA. They put a lid so tight on that shit because of what they did over there at DJ Paul house. And like I said, man, Paul got a lot to do with this shit. All right. The synchronicity is aligning too much, y'all. The synchronicity is aligning too much, especially with them winning that Oscar. Okay. When Pimp C came home and the Oscar that they won for the production of the movie was Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow is what? Based on a pimp. And the name of the song was called, you know, it's hard out here for a pimp. And they wound up winning an Oscar out the blue on that shit. So everything is syncing and aligning together. And I tried to explain to everybody, bro. All right. DJ Paul, right after this Pimp C sacrifice, knockdown, ritual, whatever the fuck happened, this when he went ape shit. And what I mean by Paul went ape shit, y'all, all right, dude went and got all these tattoos on his face. He got the Illuminati shit in the middle of his forehead. He got the Baphomet fucking goat horns on his head and everything, y'all. Real rap. Real rap. Okay? Check this out. It'll fuck you up. And when I say it'll fuck you up, man, it'll fuck you up. All right? All right, he's serious about that shit and he letting it be known. Can't be the goat without the horns. Can't be the goat. So he got that shit symbolized on his motherfucking head, nigga. Okay? The head G in charge. The head goat in charge. Check it out. See that shit, right? Tell me this ain't demon. Tell me this ain't diabolical, bro. Huh? Nah, don't run now. And you wonder why they put the narration of Pimp C was found with candles being lit, blood all over the place. He was in a prayer position. They say he threw up all this blood. Nah, motherfucker. All right. That blood came out his body, but he ain't throw it up. Very disturbing. Not only is it very disturbing, all right, shit. And like I said, I don't see why Pimp C would want to be at his house anyway. I bet you. Okay, soon as Pimp C got to this nigga house, he tried to get the fuck up out of there, bro. All right, and something went down. All right, he took this nigga right inside this spot, bro. All right, now what I'm about to reveal, a lot of people is not going to be able to process this shit. All right, now this secret spot, this secret compartment where DJ Paul live at. Now, look, y'all, this is all alleged. All right. And this is what I've been getting from my reliable resources because, like I said, we know that he worships the devil, he worships the demon. It ain't no secret. If y'all do your research on this 3-6 Mafia group and its origins, all right, everything is there. But when I tell you that this guy lived that shit, for real, Crunchy Black could tell you they gonna get him next. Cause he been running their mouth about them. He done turned on them. They gonna get Crunchy. All right, and Crunchy did a lot of they he did a lot of writing and shit and a lot of material on their music, and they robbed him out of his fucking money. But I guarantee you when Pimp C got to this house, all right, he was trying to get the fuck up out of there. All right, see, this is supposed to be his lair, all right, where all the demonic shit happens at. Okay, and he'll show you. All right, he'll show you what's going on right off the rip. All right, and everybody might say, oh yeah, he just a collector and all this and all that. Bullshit. He ain't no damn collector. All right, because it gets darker and darker. All right, as we see also Dark Vader up that motherfucker. If you know, you know. All right, but let's continue. See, all them doors got numbers on them, right? Pay attention. You see them doors? Okay, all these doors here, they all got fucking numbers on these doors. All right, and they said it's some diabolical shit. All right, you see that, right? Another number on the door, but it's some diabolical shit that's going on in this man's house and many other houses out there in LA and Hollywood. You see this shit, right? But let's continue because before you actually walk into the actual layer, look who you gonna meet. You're gonna meet the Grim Reaper right in your face. All right, and we know hypnotized minds is the what? The Grim Reaper is the logo for hypnotized minds. All right, so that show you what they is and what they ain't. What's the logo for hypnotized mind? The Grim Reaper, right? Absolute. All right. And how much you want to bet Pimp C try to get the fuck up out of here? Like I said, there's no way Pimp C was comfortable in this man's shit. Especially how woke Pimp C was to what was going on and shit like that. We already know. All right. But like I said, y'all, he showed everybody what's going on. All right. And he'll tell you if y'all do your research, he studies serial killers and horror movies and shit like that. And he said he studied it to incorporate it, all right, in his music and his lifestyle. All right. Do your research. And this is why he's so obsessed with this shit in real life. All this shit has a darker origins connected to him, a darker deity. So it's where this dude is all about. It's the type of shit he on, man. All right. And it's a lot more shit in here that he shows that has a lot of demonic symbolism, man. All right. You see the Texas Chainsaw Man, right? So when we watch these horror joints, right? It explains the origins of each and every one of these killers, right? It explains the dark origin of every killer. See some here. Check it out. Strategic drop. All right. DJ Paul has studied horror movie, what it say, intensively. and his deep love for the genre has been a major influence on his music. Strategic drop. So y'all still think he ain't do pimping for that motherfucking Oscar? Huh? You still think he ain't got nothing to do with that lineup? All right. She. He tell you this what I'm on, man. You know it's hard out here for a pimp, right? And we gonna make it harder. We gonna make it harder. Yeah, we gonna win this shit tonight. Let me come in my all red. Yeah, we gonna come bloody down. Okay, because when they find your ass, pimp, that's why I got the P hat on. When they find you, pimp, all right, all they gonna say is blood everywhere. And like I said, it was after this, he started going ape shit with these fucking tattoos and shit all on his fucking head and shit, yo. He really started thinking he a real goat. He a Baphomet in real life. Oh shit, yo. I had to laugh at these goofies, man. Word is born. I'm telling you, I had to laugh at you goofy motherfuckers. All right. Y'all might think nothing, yo. I'm gonna say that one, chicken wing. I'm gonna say that chicken wing. You see, I ain't trying to be funny, but this is why your ass got a chicken wing fucking arm and you got an elbow and a nub. You see what I'm saying? And this ain't no shot at none of my disabled people, okay, that's handicapped and shit. I say that because the type of shit he on. So imagine, look at all the shit he do with one hand. Look at all the evil and shit he's stirring up on them turntables, making that evil ass demonic fucking music. Got people shooting and killing people, going to jail, getting buried, all this weird shit. Imagine if he had two arms. Imagine what that demon motherfucker do with two full arms. All right, look what you doing with one. I ain't. Yo, I just had to say it, bro. All right, for real. All right, and maybe it's the reason why he got that one arm. Maybe that's the reason why. All right, you see, instead of you taking that life as a blessing because your whole body could have been fucked up. Okay, you should be thanking the Most High for life right there because it damn sure wasn't the devil that saved you, motherfucker. All right, it's the Most High that made you able to get through that, overcome that, and live a fucking regular life like everybody else. But you want to turn to the devil and the demon, right? So you might think you got shit on lock in this physical realm, but let me tell you something, boy. The spiritual one gonna be a heavy one for you. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. Okay. So yeah, I just definitely wanted to break that part down. And you have to question why his wife slipped up and did not want nobody to know that Pimp C was at DJ Paul house. And can't nobody ask how the fuck Megan the Stallion, how the fuck Rock Nation get Pimp C shit. Nobody say a word. Nobody say a word. You see, when Pimp C was in jail, this when allegedly Bun B, okay, went to the next level. And it was done strategically too, because if y'all think, Pimp C went to jail. He went back when he violated what, 2001, right? The whole time, Bun B ain't dropped not one damn album, right? It was 2005. It was 2005. Bun B dropped this album, right? Exactly like 2 or 3 months before Pimp C come home. All these years, right? Let me show y'all this. Okay. Trill. Pay attention how he ate off of the Free Pimp C movement. All right. He waited all the way until Pimp C was about to come home and be released, y'all, to drop his album. Nobody never paid attention to any of this shit. All right. He waited until Pimp C was about to come home because Pimp C had all the clout and all the motion and shit like that. And he waited. Okay, as it say, studio album, October 18, 2005. Let's see when Pimp C came home. Check this out. Let me show y'all something here. Two months. See that, right? He went in 2002. Okay, so why Bun B wait so long? Why he wait until Pimp C was about to come home to release his shit? Why you ain't go on your own tidal wave, right? Not to mention, y'all, all right? Nobody never paid attention to when when Bun B does this album cover. This album cover has the one eye symbolism. You see, snakes was all around him. All right, which means masonry. All right, and we also know Edgar was also, all right, a mason as well. He claimed he dropped and denounced his position in Freemasonry. But this was also the one symbolism on Bun B's first album, solo, that is, 2 months before Pimp C's release. Shout out to whole Fire Flame Nation. And like I was explaining the other night, I knew it was a big feature on this album that was unusual and very unusual and very unpredictable. All right, I just had the names wrong. He had a major feature on this album, y'all. All right, and that major feature was with who? Mr. Jay-Z himself. That's right. Bun B. All right. The track Get the Road had him, Pimp C, Jay-Z, and the dude Zero and Young Jeezy on the track. Okay, so he got that Jay-Z feature on this album, his first album. How many people you know get a Jay-Z feature on their first solo? Yes, we know that they did the big pimping and all this and all that. Okay, we know about that. But look how long ago that big pimping situation was. That was way before Pimp C even went to jail. You see? So what was Bun B doing this whole time, y'all? Why Pimp C was locked up? Because he damn sure wasn't going to see no Pimp C. Pimp C said in his book, said he wasn't coming to see me. Niggas ain't breaking me off with nothing. Niggas ain't write me shit. Niggas ain't send me no pictures or nothing. That's because he was too busy doing other things. All right. Like I said, Pimp C was mad at the fact that this Bun B album got more push and publicity than his album when he came home, The Pimpilation. He feel as though Rap a Lot ain't put enough money behind the movement. And like I said, y'all, that single, International Players, was supposed to have been on Pimpilation, the one album that Pimp C made when he came home. All right, and the label wouldn't clear the shit. That was supposed to have been his lead single, but they finessed them, stole the single, added Outkast to it, and put it on the UGK album. Shout out everybody up in here, man. No, I haven't showed, but I showed his wife on there though. Bun B, he felt as though, and Jay Prince felt as though Pimp C was fucking up the money by speaking his mind. And a lot of people feel as though Pimp C should have accepted the money, took the money, and shut the fuck up and closed his mouth. But that's some shit a hoe would do, a bitch would do. If a man can't speak how they really feel, then you can never speak on nothing. Motherfucker never take you serious. If you ask me, if it's something that you really want to speak on, but you don't want to speak on it because you're afraid how certain people might look at you or how they might react to it. But this is something that you really mean passionately. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly, morally. Nah, man, you got to stand on your morals. You got to stand on your morals, yo. You got to stand on your morals. And a lot of people ain't standing on them Pimp C morals, man. And it's crazy to me. Check it out. Can y'all hear this audio? Shout out everybody up in here, man. Okay, because like I said, a lot of people ain't speaking on Pimp name right. And for a certain individual to come in my chat and tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He didn't say it in those exact words, but he told me, okay, I need to do my research. That means I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, as far as I'm concerned. But you sat up here and lied on Pimp C name, my nigga. When I asked you, okay, what was going on with Pimp C and that song and that video with international players, bro? All right. You up here foo-fooing around and shit, sitting up here lying on Pimp C name, talking about Pimp C was late, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And I strategically showed everybody a whole clip of Pimp C shooting the international players video by himself. Bun B and them, they wasn't even dressed up for the motherfucking video, bro. Okay? But like I said, when certain questions are asked, all right, and like I said, even Pippin, Ken, and shit like that, yo, everybody they think it's a fucking yeehaw joke or something, man. All right? Everybody think it's a joke. Ken think it's a joke. He think it's a joke. His wife think it's a joke. DJ Paul think it's a fucking joke. Everybody trying to clown on Pimp C name. That's how I feel. But check this out, man. All right, let me play this. Everybody clowning on his name. Check this shit out, man. Okay, he gonna ask you a question and watch this nigga. Okay, start glazing. All right, tell me this ain't glazing.
Had an extensive conversation. I was supposed to do Master P book, you know, with him and James over there at Rap Stack. This is about a year ago. So, you know, I have relationships with a lot of people. So, I mean, it's hard for me to say anything that would be derogatory because, you know, I do millions of dollars worth of deals.
For sure.
You know, a lot of people don't know that, but I do. You know, and I'm not gonna lie on here, Master P, to tell you, we had a situation. I was trying to give him a deal. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, Pimp can't try to give Master P a deal." Yes, I do give people deals. You know, as much as y'all don't want to believe that, but you know, so I don't want to say nothing derogatory. You know, Moby Dick is Master P's cousin. He runs one of my chapters in St. Louis. He's the CEO of St. Louis.
We have got to the point where literally anybody.
All right, shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight, man. Y'all can be anywhere, but y'all right here with GFTV.
I can't
we
speak
don't
on
want
Master P and the Pimp C.
We pushing the Kanye, but we moving forward. Moving forward. Shouts out my brother Slump. My brother Slump, he's got to do my research.
He's a cold
baby.
Humble.
Last one.
You sure he don't work for the Fed?
Hey, man.
No, I'm serious.
Slump just like one of them smart ass that know a lot about everything. You know, he like a walking Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And he just know everything. You know what I'm saying? Right, you keep one of them around. He's like, bro, how the
fucking right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Fix your computer.
Exactly.
Take it apart and make it faster.
Yeah, any random thing you want to talk about, just call Slump, and Slump know how to do it.
Say less.
Yeah. Last one. Why did Pimp C want to go to war with Jay Prince? Was it over dropping his location in Master P?
Ooh.
Over dropping his location. Why did Pimp C want to go to war with Jay Prince? Was it over dropping his location in Master P?
Ooh. Kanye.
We moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen.
Jay Prince Senior. Salute to Jay Prince.
Salute to Jay Prince. Salute to Rap Alive.
There it is. There it is.
You hear that, right? You hear that, right? Salute the Jay Prince. Salute the Rap A Lot Records. You don't want to speak on it? Only reason why you don't want to speak on it because you know what's true. And what I've been revealing over here for the last few days, that it was an ongoing beef with Pimp C and Jay Prince. And not only was there an ongoing beef, that CD that was found, well, that was allegedly left at DJ Paul's house, okay, with those 16 songs on it, all right, with 16 songs of Pimp C going in on Jay Prince, Rap A Lot Records, Bun B, and a lot of other individuals in the rap game. All right. That's why. And not only that, wouldn't the person say, nah, man, wouldn't they just speak in the name of Pimp in the right way and just say, nah, man, it wasn't beefing. It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't. Nah, he ain't say that. He gave all the props and respect to Jay Prince. All right. Salute to Jay Prince Sr. He made that shit known. Senior, that is. Salute to Senior. And Rap A Lot. Yeah, and look at Pimp and Ken cheerleading on the side like it's a fucking game and a joke. You see what I'm saying? So when somebody asks you a question like that, okay, was Pimp C going to war with Jay Prince because Jay Prince dropped his location to Master P? The man ain't even say, nah, man, it ain't happen like that. It ain't go down like that. Know what I mean? And I'm gonna leave it like that. Nope. You know what the man said? Shout out to Jay Prince. Good job, Jay Prince. Yep, we know you dropped that location, Jay Prince, but I ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing. You see, y'all gotta read between the lines, bro. Y'all gotta read between the lines, man, and stop letting people hit y'all with dumb shit like we stupid. Yeah, some of us was born at night, but it wasn't last night, and some was today, but it wasn't yesterday. I straight like that. We far from some dumb motherfuckers. And like I said, it's sad. 17, no. And you see, this is why when he came in my chat, I knew exactly who he was, and I seen him, but I was checking his temperature, and I seen the things that he was saying, and how he was saying it, and then I wanted to be sure that it was the right 17 hole. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure that was the exact one. And one thing I noticed, certain things that I was revealing, he was trying to rebuttal certain things that I was saying. All right. And if it wasn't the truth, he wouldn't have been in my chat trying to rebuttal the things that I was saying. And for the ones who don't know, 17 is up on the screen. Okay. The light skinned dude. Because when he first started coming out about the situation, y'all, he started acting like he was speaking in the name of Pimp. Okay, but once the spotlight was all on him, then he act like he wasn't speaking in the name of Pimp no more. Everything that he was saying, he was taking back. He was recanting and all this and all that. Okay, so we could go back to some truth.
Scanned the copy so it could be in the book. Like I told y'all, this book is official. There go Pimp signature right there at the bottom. Right there. So anyway, let me read y'all the letter. Since y'all think what I be saying, I just be talking. I know that y'all don't know, and I'm just giving y'all the shot, man. They can get mad at me all they want. I'm the one that they didn't want to start talking. Well, now look, I'm gonna read the letter to y'all. It say, "Dear Miss Day, thank you for the book, and I got your letter. Also, tell me what Mel and Turk from Trill Entertainment need to do with Trill Entertainment. They will do whatever I ask. You are right." And then he say, "We ain't as close as they may want you to think we are." Talking about him and Mel and Turk. They wasn't as close as everybody think. I'm trying to tell y'all. We ain't as close as they might think, as they may want you to think, but I can get at them. Then he say, "Album on me soon. March 1st, 2005 is the date I heard. We have no paperwork. In other words, no contract."
You see that, right? Okay. Rap-A-Lot is dropping a solo album on me. 3105 is the date. I have no paperwork. As I strategically break this down, what I tell y'all earlier in this live, that Jay Prince went to the goddamn prison to get verses and songs and get Pimp C material, right? All right. No paperwork or nothing. Album came out, ain't had no paperwork or nothing. robbed the man for all his fucking money and everything. I'm trying to tell everybody, if y'all actually read the book, that book could be a whole Pimp C movie about the real Pimp C. Just like that, those books and those poems that Tupac wrote. They could have made a Tupac movie based off his life from those poems and shit that he was writing. But y'all see, they ain't go that route because that was the actual real Pac. Like right here in this book is the actual real Pimp C. But nobody in these interviews that's close to him, okay, speak on this book and his words. This was written by him, all caps. That's how Pimp C wrote everything. He wrote everything in all caps. If you know, you know. As it says, he ain't had no paperwork, nothing. And like I said, this was 17 at first. You heard what he said? Now, I'm the one that they don't want to speak. I'm the one that they don't want to speak. So when you start speaking, why you shut the fuck up? Then you got nerve to be all over here telling me to do my research. Motherfucker, I did more than the fuck you know. I'm just strategic with it. And I know that you's a fucking snake. That part. You lucky your name ain't in the title or you ain't in the thumbnail. But it should be. It should be. Because you up here saluting fucking Jay Prince after this man just asked you a question. All right, was Pimp C going to war with Jay Prince for dropping the location to Master P? You gonna sit up here and salute Jay Prince. Like, you weird. Y'all niggas is weird as fuck. Pimpin' Ken, he weird as fuck. I don't give a fuck how close these so-called niggas claim they was close to him. Nigga, y'all actions is telling a whole nother story, bro. Y'all actions is telling a whole nother fucking story. And it ain't the Pimp C one. It's the Pimp Ho one. Y'all got a whole lot of hoe in y'all blood. If that's the case, don't speak on it at all then. Why put shit in the title? Why put Pimp C name in the title and try to fucking get money and shit off of his name, try to get click, likes, and views when you ain't speaking on shit? Y'all playing around with his fucking name. That's all y'all doing. And that's all the way. Nasty work than a motherfucker. All right. To the point his wife, ex-wife, that is, play with his fucking name. Robbed his ass. Took the kid, the daughter trust fund, all the money, everything. Sold his lyrics. They was robbing Pimp C from the door while he was in jail. He put it in his book. Rapper Lot is dropping a solo album on me. I have no paperwork. No paperwork. You see the date of this letter? January 26th. The album was coming out in 2 months, less than 2 months. Damn near a month away. And he ain't had no paperwork, ain't signed shit. And they releasing the album. Hold up. It's just crazy. Let me see something here. Okay, yeah. The free Pimp C joint. Yo, that's crazy work, man. They did that man dirty, bro. They did that man dirty, y'all. While he still was in jail. They couldn't even wait. Look at the date 2005. Pimp C was coming home in another couple months. Why y'all couldn't wait? This show you that they was on some snake shit. He came home. He was about to come home. He came home at the end of 05. Why they couldn't wait? Because they was ready to snake him. Look, he got out of jail December 05. Why was it so urgent for Jay Prince to get Pimp C lyrics and his material to release this album with no paperwork before he put his feet on the ground? So they could rob the shit out of him. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. And like I said, the whole time, UGK, nobody dropped a project. But B ain't dropped a project the whole time he was in there. A couple months before he come home. This is when they want to drop the free Pimp C shit. Then right after that, here come who? Bun B. In October, right before December, before he came home. You see all the snake shit they doing, right? All off his build up. All off the free Pimp C campaign.
Also, tell me what Mel and Turk from Trill Entertainment need to do with Trill Entertainment. They will do whatever I ask. You are right. And then he say, we ain't as close as they may want you to think we are. Talking about him and Mel and Turk. They wasn't as close as everybody think. I'm trying to tell y'all. We ain't as close as they might think, as they may want you to think, but I can get at them. Then he say, album on me soon. March 1st, 2005 is the date I heard. We have no paperwork. In other words, no contract. In some ways, that's a good thing, and in other ways, it's a bad thing. All I know is that I'm going to do what you tell me to do on my return. I could be home in as little as 10 months. We still owe Jive one record. Bun is signed to rap a lot as a solo artist, as far as I know.
See that? You see that, right? Strategic drop. Bun paperwork was already official. Way before Pimp C even had any paperwork. And listen, I'm hearing, okay, that they finessed him out the contract too. And you see, this is why when he came home, he was so upset. Because how y'all want me to sign on to some new paperwork far as a new solo album, a new UGK album, a new project, this new project, that, when y'all ain't even get me straight from my last project? How that's working? How y'all want me to sign some paperwork when we ain't even got the paperwork straight for the last shit? You see what I'm saying? But the promises that was coming in, y'all know how these record executives do. Y'all know how these motherfuckers do, like Diddy, Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and the rest of them. Okay, QCP. They put all this money right in the artist's face, right? They put all the money, all the cars and shit right in their face, and it'll blind them temporarily. All right, it'll distract them from what they really need to be doing. And they know how to distract them, putting all that money, all them cars and shit all in your face right there on the spot without the paperwork being correct. You see what I'm saying? And Bun B shit was already locked and loaded. He dropping the album officially in a couple of months, got some of the best features in the game. Even Jay-Z. And you see him bow down with the one eye symbolism on his first solo project with who? Rap-A-Lot Records. We know who lost their eye on Rap-A-Lot fucking records, y'all. Who lost their eye? Okay? They need to call that shit Rap-A-Eye Records. Okay? All right, Bush, McBill, Bushwick, whatever the fuck his name is, got his eye shot out allegedly, right before the album dropped, right before they did the album shoot and all this weird shit. And you got Bun B solo album, and he shows the one eye symbolism. So the shit is fucking weird and it's crazy. And we got DJ Paul telling the world where this man was at, what they was doing. Here's the last person to see him before he died. But you got his wife saying when we got to LA, he went to sleep. He supposed to went to go see DJ Paul, but DJ Paul called and I ain't wake him up. As a matter of fact, DJ Paul and them, they were shooting this reality show, so he didn't really want nobody to know where he was at. Because I was just saying, well, why don't you just go to his house, Pimp C? But come to find out, DJ Paul ain't want nobody knowing where he was living at, which ain't make no fucking sense at all, what she said. Okay, she's a very mischievous, promiscuous female. When they got their hustle and flow on with that Oscar, okay? Because they hustle and moved Pimp C right along with the flow. all right, and lined them up. They won this shit 3 months after Pimp C came home. Pimp C came home the end of December. They won this shit in March. That's 3 months. And the name of the track is, you know it's hard out here for a pimp. Right. And Pimp C was with you last. All right. They already had this shit set up. They already had this shit set up. They already knew what they was gonna do to Pimp C, bro. This is why the paperwork wasn't right, y'all. This is why the paperwork wasn't right. They already knew how they was gonna line them up. Okay? They already knew that old boy trusted DJ Paul. Pimp C trusted DJ Paul. Okay? But he ain't know the new DJ Paul. Because the whole time while Pimp C was locked up, 3-6 Mafia and DJ Paul was going through this transition. They was going through a transition. They was going through a transition. Everything that Pimp C was speaking on and was against, these motherfuckers represented. Nah, and it's sad. It's sad that his mama went to her grave, okay, trying to get the money up to resume Pimp C body, and nobody wouldn't put the money up, y'all. Look how much it costs, y'all. Mama West was struggling to get the money up to reassume his body. And you think his wife gave a fuck? You think anybody on these podcasts and shit that was making money off of Pimp C name, pimping, killing all you weird motherfuckers, as much as y'all don't put Pimp C in the title and shit, y'all ain't donate his mama $1 fucking. You know why? Because I'm telling y'all, if they would have got that body re-exhumed, it would have proved that Pimp C didn't die from no overdose or no accidental overdose or no shit like that. All right? Pimp C was beat to death, allegedly. Legs was broken, arms was broken, neck was broken. They said his head was the size of a basketball. Some say a pumpkin. Okay? Even the feds, okay? Because it's some shit that was going down, okay, with Rap a Lot and the federal authorities. You know what I'm saying? And yo, I found out that the feds was even doing surveillance on Pimp C before his death. I got the paperwork that the feds was at Pimp C funeral. The feds was at Pimp C funeral, y'all. See something here. Check it out. Told you, I got it, y'all. I'm different. And so much about this shit, y'all have no idea. Okay? And I'm going to strategically release this information with a fire flame meltdown. Okay? That the feds was investigating Rap a Lot. They was investigating Pimp C and a lot of other individuals to the extent the feds was even at Pimp C funeral. All right. So if they was doing surveillance on him, if they say that shit went down in that hotel room like they claim it went down in that hotel room, then they should know everybody that was there and what was going on as I dropped this strategic bomb. So a lot of people got a lot of explaining to do, bro. Yep. And I'm hearing it was some other people at that house with DJ Paul. All right. It just wasn't him and Pimp C. He ran into some shit. Set him up. And like I said, y'all, check it out. As I strategically break this down, like I said, the feds was at the funeral, man. See that, right? SWAT team will be deployed at the burial site. You see this, right? Okay? Y'all can't get this information from no other channel, nowhere that ever was breaking down anything that was going on with Pimp C. Ain't never taken this far and this deep. And like I said, I also got information because I've been telling y'all all year about this Rico that's going to hit this pipeline, and Jay Prince ass gonna get wrapped right the fuck up, bro. The feds is coming for him. His time is ticking. It's only a matter of time. And the only reason why Jay Prince has lasted this long is because he's connected to certain politicians and shit. You see? But once them politicians and shit, once they get removed out of position, removed from the office or some shit like that, that's when changes and shit start to come in and things start to take a turn. And the people that has been protecting Jay Prince can no longer protect him anymore. Sort of like Big U, strategic drop. Sort of like Big U. As long as the feds and the local politicians and community leaders was protecting Big U. You see how they flipped on him, right? Once everything changed, once all the positions changed and shit like that, everything else got to change too. And it's only a matter of time. Jay Prince, they've been watching you. Man, I'm telling you, they going to go back from the early 2000s on your ass. They going to go all the way back. You see, they was already been investigating Jay Prince. I got the paperwork that they was investigating Jay Prince. Okay? And they was about to indict him under the RICO Act because he founded the Rap-A-Lot Records with drug money. All right? But out the blue, that investigation was dropped due to a certain person in office that was connected to Jay Prince and the politics in Houston. All right. And at the time, Al Gore was the president. All right. Do your research on how the United States dropped the investigation on those RICO charges that they was about to bring up on Jay Prince and Rap-A-Lot Records. You see this, right? Okay, the DEA investigation into Jay Prince and his Rap-A-Lot Records label in the 90s was not dropped, but rather thwarted, whatever the fuck, okay? Thwarted by exposure of corrupt law enforcement practices. You see, the investigation did not result in an indictment, and subsequent, okay, relations showed that a lead DEA agent on the case was targeting Prince and other individuals for years using illegal methods. Okay? So, this is why allegedly the investigation was dropped due to discovery of corrupt agents. Well, what you think gonna happen when they had the discovery of corrupt police officers and corrupt politicians? Ain't nothing new. That's how y'all get the job done. Y'all gotta be corrupt. Y'all can't do things by the book because y'all will never get a motherfucking conviction. Y'all never had no charges thrown up. Y'all gotta throw some sauce in there. Somewhere, it's always some sauce thrown in on every indictment. So this ain't nothing new. Okay? But y'all think for a minute they let Jay Prince Jr. off the hook? Okay? Because check this out. Look, he was being investigated the whole 90s, y'all. That's how much surveillance they had on him. Since the 90s. And then they still at at Pimp C funeral, they still was there doing surveillance. Who they investigating? Who they watching? What record label artist died? Rap a Lot, right? Check it out. Chad Butler, more commonly known as Pimp C, is referenced in various FBI reporting. Strategic drop. Stop playing with me. Ain't nobody never breaking this information to y'all. They was investigating Pimp C too, which proves what? They had to be there when this man died. Strategic drop. Okay? Butler, more commonly known as Pimp C, is referenced in various FBI reporting in connection to narcotics transaction, money laundering, and violent disputes between other musicians. All right? Check it out. Authorities have received information that individuals may try to disrupt the service in retaliation. Okay, you see, all this was intel the feds was getting and still actively using. So he just got out of jail, and the feds was watching him for narcotics transaction, money laundering, and other shit. Because Rap a Lot Records was already under investigation. A lot of people call Jay Prince the motherfucking police. A lot of people say he done turned on a lot of folks and put the police on them. And let me tell y'all something, bro. You ain't got to be on no paperwork to be a rat or a snitch. Let me solarize it and polarize it for a second. You ain't got to be on no paperwork to be a rat or a snitch. Everybody's so used to the informant format. When you are an informant, you see, that's something different. Okay? Then your name will be in paperwork, individual one, CI1, CI2, shit like that. But when you a rat and a snitch, anybody could drop a dime on you. Anybody could send a motherfucker in your direction just by word of mouth. No paperwork involved. at all. You know how many people done went to jail for a rat and a snitch? It's a difference between a rat, a snitch, an informant, and an undercover. A rat and a snitch just tell everything they know. The 1-800 hotline and shit like that. 1-800-TIPS. But I just wanted to let that be known. You ain't got to have no paperwork to be no motherfucking rat. But somebody ratting inside that camp. How much information and intel you think they got on Jay Prince and Rap a Lot? Have we heard one person mention that Pimp C was being investigated by the feds before his death? They was investigating Pimp C since he came home. You know why? As I strategically break this down, because that Ozone bitch, that bitch who do the magazines, the one who did the book, Julia Beverly, they sent her at Pimp C. All right, she's another Vlad and another Adam 22. Before it was social media, you had people that do the magazines and shit. And I'm hearing Julia Beverly, okay, worked with the feds. And Julia Beverly, out of the blue, came out of nowhere with this Ozone magazine, just like all these other people do that come into our culture, like Vlad and Adam 22. Okay, she came out of nowhere with this magazine and having all this access to all these artists and shit. But just so happens, okay, she went to see Pimp C directly in prison, directly in jail. She ain't even have no history with hip hop or the culture or nothing at all. Just came out the blue. This is why a lot of magazines was beefing with Julia Beverly and Ozone, like Source, Vibe, and shit like that. Because there was a lot of bullshit that they were doing. Peep game. Julia Beverly was the one who released that interview that Pimp C did. It came out in her magazine, and she ain't watered any of it down either. And we know who these magazine people be linked to, man. They just like the police. They just like the police. They was watching Pimp C since he came home. All right, and like I said, I don't know how true this is, okay, but I'm hearing that Julia Beverly, all right, worked with the feds. Just like we know Adam worked with the feds, Adam 22, No Jumper, Vlad TV, 1090 Jake. You see, Julia was the Vlad TV in the Adam 22s and the 1090s before it was like a social media. Okay, it was a magazine form when we got all of our information from these magazines, all our pictures, all the information about the artists and what was going on behind the scenes. Everything was coming out in magazine. Who had the best content? Everybody trying to get the best content. She went as far as going all the way to the prison to see Pimp C. Okay. And I don't think that it was for a genuine relationship. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was I don't think, not from the research and shit that I had done and the shit that leads me to, nah, man, shit just ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Because Julia claims that she stand for Pimp C. Yeah, she done put out a few of his books and things like that, working on a documentary and shit like that. And like I said, if none of these so-called artists or brothers or friends or buddy old pals of Pimp C didn't put this money up for his own reabsuming of his body, and his mama died basically trying to get the money up. I don't see how Julia couldn't help her get the money up. Okay? And that's right. I'm just speaking facts. If that's the case, if she was that close to Pimp and blah blah this and blah blah that, you got a lot of, she owned a lot of Pimp C rights, y'all. Okay, this Julia woman own a lot. She owns Pimp C image, likeness, and all that. You know that, right? When Pimp C died, she was in control of all that shit. So when somebody's in control of your image, your likeness, and all that before your death, when you die, they are controlled. They are in control of it after your death too. Okay, so she can do anything with Pimp C name, his image, and all that. Okay, because she owned it and have the rights to it. And what I'm saying is, if you have the rights to it, because obviously you do, you releasing books and things like that. And before the books, you was a successful CEO of Ozone magazine that raked in millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. So you couldn't help Pimp C mama as I strategically just break down facts with this money for this reburial either. Man, man. Shit weird, yo. Miss Day, what's up with you? So I wanted to close the show with this. This how you know it's something more sinister involved. Because we know the feds was right there when Tupac killed. when Tupac got knocked down. The feds was there when Biggie got knocked down. Police was there when King Von got knocked down. Police was there. Had to be. Had to be. Somewhere around. Police had to be somewhere around. The feds, that is, because they was doing a full-blown investigation on Pimp and Rapper Lot Records. And we ain't never heard 17, the Hawk, Pimp and Ken, his wife, and none of these other individuals that I haven't even brung up yet mention anything about this. Because this would have been the first thing they would have been saying. Man, fuck all that. The feds was watching Pimp. The feds had Pimp C under investigation. So if Pimp got knocked down and lost his life like they say he did, then they should know who all was in that hotel room, what happened, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Then you got Too Short talking some bullshit. I wonder, was the hotel room door locked from the inside or was it unlocked? Because if it was locked from the inside, that means he was in there by himself. But if it wasn't locked from the inside, that means somebody was in there with him. Sound all stupid and dumb. Add more stupid shit to it. What if it was a double room, dickhead? Like that'd matter. Yeah, that's what Too Short said. I wonder, was the hotel door room locked from the inside? You know how the hotels and the motels got a little latch on the door? Know what I mean? You put the extra pop when you about to get busy with it. You know what I mean? You put that extra latch on the door and shit. So he more like, oh, I wonder, was the latch locked from the inside or it wasn't? Because if it was locked, that means he was in there by himself. But if it wasn't locked from the inside, that means somebody else was in there. But then you got his wife coming out years later saying that she was there. She left, went to go move a car. Listen, if she was there, which I truly believe that she was, Pimp C was already dead before she left LA. That's why she said, as I strategically break this down, okay, I didn't know somebody can die twice. Pay attention. That's why she said, I didn't think somebody can die twice. I didn't think nobody can die twice, right? Because he was dead before you left. And he didn't die from no what? Poisoning. You know how he died. His ass got beat to death. So that's why she said, oh, I ain't know somebody can die twice. Weird shit, y'all. Julia claimed that that's the real reason why they sent Pimp C back to jail. That's what she claimed from the research that she did. Julia claimed the reason why they sent Pimp C back to jail was because some type of investigation that they were doing on Rap-A-Lot Records. They wanted Pimp C to fold or cooperate or something like that. Now, this is what Julia Beverly said out her mouth. Yeah, man. So they even try to say that interview that he did, y'all. Okay? I'm telling you, you gotta watch fucking Google and shit, bro. They try to rewrite history with this AI shit. Pimp C did a famous radio interview in July 2007 with the Atlanta radio station Hot 97. Check it out. They say he was still in prison. No, the fuck he wasn't. He was still in prison at the time of the call. No, he wasn't in prison. You see what I'm saying? Because they're trying to set the narration for the future generation that really don't know what's going on. Like he said all that shit about Atlanta and all them dick in the booty ass weirdos before he came home. Well, we know he came home in December 2005. He wasn't locked up in no July 2007. Yeah. A shout out to the nation, man. I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight, man. I think that's just about it that I'm gonna break down for this episode here. No, anybody got any questions? Or anything that they might want to add? Because I'm telling you, man, people still sleep on the fire starters, bro. They still sleep on the fire starters, man. They still sleeping on us. Know what I mean? And as long as they sleeping, we wide awoke. All the way woke. Appreciate you, Angela, for the sponsorship and endorsement and a $10 donation on this live, man. If y'all ain't a member yet, what y'all waiting on? Get y'all Fire Flame Inferno badges, only $2.99 a month. You got special access to perks, emojis, and badges, all custom, made by one and only G Fear TV, man. Kyra knows, appreciate your support. Why y'all think 17 Hall? Why y'all think he told that lie? Why y'all think he told that lie, man? Like I said, man, you just don't speak on something at all. Then if you gonna lie about it, especially lie on the dead man, you see what I mean? Why speak on it? Just don't speak on it at all. But if you speak on it and you lie about it, that goes to show you where you at and what you got going on with yourself. What type of intentions you have. What's your motive? What you got to hide? What you trying to cover up? And then why you over here? So yeah, man. And I ain't even pull. Yo, when I tell y'all, man, I ain't pulled the rabbit out the hat yet, man. I ain't pulled the rabbit out the hat yet. Three, 6. But shout out the whole nation, man. We about to close out, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this live, everything we had to dismantle tonight. If y'all ain't hit the like button yet, man, I appreciate it if y'all hit the like button on the way out, man. And it's a damn shame what they did to this man assets, though, man. I'm telling you, yo, they just sold the man shit. Sold everything he got. He ain't worth nothing. And the shit that he is worth, all the streams and shit that he is getting, going straight to Rap a Lot. Everything going straight to J Prince and Rap a Lot Records. And they ain't even going to his mama, his daughter, Nobody, bro. All that shit going straight to J Prince. Every time international. All right, he ain't even get his check off of the UGK album, y'all. He ain't even live to see the check. Ain't go on tour. You notice that? No UGK tours. Ain't do no shows or nothing when he came home. Crazy work, right? How you got an album out? How you got, first of all, you got 2 albums out and a UGK album. And you ain't doing no shows, no tours. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Man wasn't doing no shows or nothing, yo. No shows or nothing. He ain't even get to see his biggest check. Only one who got to see that money was J Prince and Bun B. His first #1. The first UGK #1 on the charts. On that UGK album. International player. He didn't even get a chance to see the check. He didn't even get the check from it. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Like, share, subscribe. Always remember, fear the fire, fear the flames, man. I appreciate all the new subscribers, supporters, fire starters, hawkers, walkers, and stalkers that joined us tonight, man. Everybody be safe. Everybody be blessed. We out.
Fear